As we launch our second season of Makin Energy, we welcome back our very first guest from season 1 to catch us up on the latest in Louisiana energy.
Louisiana has an opportunity to be at the forefront of the next generation of where the energy industry is going.
Our guest is Marc Ehrhardt, Executive Director of Grow Louisiana Coalition, an advocacy group for Louisiana's oil and natural gas industry, and the sponsor of this podcast.
The big question is whether we are clear enough as a state in seeing the opportunity and going after it.
Grow Louisiana Coalition has more than 110,000 supporters who stand for energy policies and initiatives that benefit small businesses, local communities, and hardworking families all across the state. It works to highlight the positive impacts the energy industry makes in Louisiana, creates awareness about the current energy expansion, and educate supporters on how they can help grow the industry in their parish. Marc, welcome to Makin Energy.
It's great to be back, and it's great to have a second season so we can talk about all the things that are important to the future of Louisiana's energy industry and the people of Louisiana's energy.
And there is no shortage of topics there. You recently co-authored an op-ed titled, "Why Louisiana's Energy Expansion Should Matter to You." Now, if anyone listening to this podcast has not read this piece, I encourage you to do so. We'll go ahead and put a link in the episode description for you. The article, it picks up right where we left off in season 1, showing the opportunity and investments tied to these complementary energy sources, the technologies, services, and manufacturing that we introduced to our listeners in season 1. So, Marc, I want to start with the question you posed in that headline. Why should Louisiana's energy expansion matter to our listeners?
The number one thing that we want people in and around oil and gas and the energy industry in the state to know is that for 100 years, Louisiana and Louisiana people have been at the forefront of the type of innovation that's taking place right now. Whenever the first oil well was developed, whenever the first offshore oil well was developed, the deepest exploration that is taking place in the Gulf of Mexico or places like in the Indian Ocean or the North Sea, every one of those innovations has had somebody from Louisiana as a part of it, if not leading it. And this, in where we're going, is where our opportunity lies. We are ahead of Texas, and we have the opportunity because of our geology, because of our know-how, because of the infrastructure we have in the state to really take advantage of things that haven't been seen maybe in 50 or 60 years. The big question is whether we are clear enough as a state in seeing the opportunity and going after it.
Let's lay out the numbers. Talk about the kind of investments and opportunities that are ahead of Louisiana and available now.
Energy producers like ExxonMobil, Shell, Chevron, dozens of other types of companies, including companies that are based and founded in Louisiana, they're investing billions of dollars into the state's working infrastructure. Now we're looking at just an influx of potential projects and projects that are already confirmed in the state. And when you start looking at the impact the industry has already in Louisiana, where we're talking about 346,000 jobs that are cultivated and are created by just what's happening in oil and gas in Louisiana today, $50 billion more in economic development can result in exponential growth for the industry. It creates all types of opportunities. Every project that we're doing has offshoots to it. You know, that rig that's out there has hundreds of Louisianians working on it. But then you also have the service industry where you have boats going out there regularly, bringing equipment and bringing other types of supplies. And so for every job that is created directly for somebody in the oil and gas business, you're talking about 5 or 6 other jobs that are supported. And when we have the type of opportunity in front of us with $50 billion in potential projects, it opens the door to all types of innovation. New businesses are going to be created to try and work in that industry. We are at least a year, if not 2 or 3 years ahead of Texas. And we, for once, Louisiana is a leader. We are the leader in this, and we can only benefit from that.
A lot of people want to know if Louisiana captures these new opportunities, What happens to the existing oil and natural gas industry in the state?
Oh, it's not going anywhere. We are in a time where there is greater demand for energy than we have seen in modern humanity. We've increased our level of production. We're producing more. But what we've also done at the same time is decrease our air emissions by more than 70%, 70. We've decreased it over the last 30 years. So not only are we becoming more and more efficient and we remain safe in what we do, we're also making our processes more efficient so that emissions have come down. What we're the best at, we're going to be the best at for a long time to come because the demand is there. People within Louisiana, they're being faced with a choice. Do they say, well, I'm in favor of what we've always done for the last 100 years and oil and natural gas, and I'm in favor of that. And then they feel like if they're in favor of that, they have to be against new innovations and things that are coming around carbon capture or hydrogen facilities or advanced recycling facilities or offshore wind. And they feel like it's an either or kind of situation. It's the furthest thing from an either or situation. It's a both. It's a yes and. The same companies in the oil and gas business in the state of Louisiana are the exact same companies who are investing the most in the innovations that are happening in the energy industry. The thing we need to be for is Louisiana's energy industry. We need to be for the people of the industry. It's the people of the industry that make Louisiana's energy go. Those are the stories and things that we're going to tell because that's what we've always been about. With all the guests that you have coming this season, they're experts in their field. They're people who believe in our energy future, and we're going to learn a lot from them.
Marc Ehrhardt, Executive Director of Grow Louisiana Coalition, thank you for laying out the roadmap for us in this second season of Makin Energy and for being our guest on Episode 1.
Thanks, Jennifer. Have a great season.
Louisiana sports in general really are the backbone of our Louisiana economy and have such an impact on our national economy as well.
That's Chet Chesson, Executive Director of Port Fourchon. Next on Makin Energy. The power of Louisiana ports, the construction of an island to expand port access, and the creation of 2,500 new jobs. More on Episode 2, Louisiana's Ports, America's Gateway.